But then a single day just brought it all out into the open. So today, we're gonna break down how this long simmering rivalry between Iran and Israel finally boiled over and why it pulled the entire world right to the brink.
All right, so let's get right into it. That critical date, February 28th, 2026. I mean, this is the day that took years of secret fighting and just exploded it into open war. So how did we even get here? What led the world to this point?
Well, to really get what happened, you first have to understand the powder keg that was about to blow. For years, the pressure was just building and building. It was immense.
So the tension really came down to two major things, and they were totally tangled up with each other. First, you've got the world getting more and more alarmed about Iran's nuclear program. And at the same time, you have its influence spreading all across the Middle East through its proxy forces. You put those two things together, and you've got an incredibly volatile situation where just one wrong move could set the whole thing off. Okay, so with all that pressure just sitting there, let's look at the spark that finally lit the fuse. A single decisive military action that absolutely changed everything. On that day, the standoff was over. Israel, with clear support from the United States, decided to act directly. They launched this massive wave of coordinated airstrikes, striking deep inside Iran. And these were not random attacks at all. No, the targets were incredibly strategic. They were aimed right at the heart of Iran's power structure, its military, its controversial nuclear sites, and, this is the big one, its top leadership. And look, this was so much more than just a military strike. It was what they call a decapitation attempt. When you target and kill the supreme leader himself, well, you're practically guaranteeing a massive direct response. There was no coming back from that. A major line had just been crossed. And yeah, that response did not take long to arrive. Just as everyone expected, Iran's retaliation was swift, it was powerful, and it was aimed squarely at the people it held responsible. The whole situation just instantly blew up into this direct, tit-for-tat fight. Iran's answer to the airstrikes was to unleash this huge barrage of missiles and drones. And they weren't just targeting Israel, they were also hitting American military bases all over the region. Now, even though these super advanced air defense systems did manage to intercept a lot of what was coming in, they couldn't stop everything. There was still significant damage and casualties on both sides. It just goes to show even the best defenses can get overwhelmed when the attack is big enough. So, and this is the really crucial part. This war did not stay regional. The shockwaves started spreading way beyond the Middle East, and pretty soon they were affecting the entire globe. This is the moment it became everyone's problem. The fighting immediately started messing with critical shipping routes, and this back and forth escalation just fueled fears that this could turn into a much, much wider war that would pull in other world powers. And the impact? It was immediate and it was severe. You can see it right here. Regional stability plummeted. The security of global trade, way down. And at the same time, the risk of a massive war skyrocketed. In just a few days, the world became a much, much scarier place. Seeing this crisis just spiral out of control, the rest of the world sounded the alarm. You had leaders everywhere making these urgent calls for everyone to just take a step back, return to diplomacy. They warned that this was a direct threat to international peace. And that really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? What this conflict has shown us crystal clear is just how terrifyingly fast modern warfare can escalate. I mean, it goes from simmering tensions to all-out war in the blink of an eye. And in a world that moves that fast, you have to ask, can our old tools, diplomacy, can they even keep up anymore?